Hi, Chris Fox, Fox Construction, Tailored Custom Homes. We're here because we're trying to get you as much information as you need to be able to make an informed decision and to be able to be in the home that you really love and enjoy. Hey everyone, Chris Fox, Fox Construction, Tailored Custom Homes. I'm here with Greg Jazayeri, and today we're going to go over, different architectural designs and, floor plans and a lot of different good information about building along 30A. You work in a lot of markets. What about the design of 30A that people don't realize until they're actually in it?
Let me start by saying this. I moved here in '94, so I saw the growth of 30A from really just a two-lane, 98 two-lane, and there's not much here on 30A. There was Seaside. We grew up seeing Seaside, but as it developed, you had Watercolor, you had Rosemary Beach, you had Alys Beach. You just had so many different communities that every community is unique in itself. I'm blessed to be in this area, to see the architecture, to work with builders like you that know your stuff and know the area. But 30A is unique when it comes down to each specific development. They all have their design codes, as well as the topography here is just beautiful.
Right.
And we're on the beach.
Right.
We're dealing with a lot of, not only are we dealing with the heat during the summer, but we're dealing with humidity. We're dealing with all different aspects of design. So working with the builder, it's like you guys help us on what's available for us.
And different available products and different ways, means, and methods to go about, getting the air conditioning just right and the, humidity and all that stuff. So from the design perspective on that, how does the topography, because that's one of the things, because I know there's, certain neighborhoods where the topography, it's not flat. And some of these, there's a 10 to 15 foot drop. And, as 30A has developed over the years, I've been here, 13 years, not quite as long as you, but 13 years. And I've noticed that, the easier to build lots are either priced higher or have already been taken up. So now we have some of the ones with a little bit more difficult topography. From the design standpoint, how do you go after those to make sure that you're providing, the best quality for the client? And I'm talking about, I'm not talking about a 3 foot, drop. I'm talking about some of these with a 10 to 12, 15 foot drop.
When it comes to topography in these more difficult lots, it becomes more of a beautiful house. It creates something. It's something to work with. Yes, anybody can design on a flat lot.
Right.
Yeah, your basic slab on grade, it's pretty flat. Topography, every time I go to a site, that's one thing I look at. I look at the topography, I look at the trees, I look at the sunset. But usually the most difficult lots are the most beautiful homes.
Where do you usually see things break down between design and construction on coastal projects, and how do you try to prevent that?
Working with you. From the very beginning. Having that team up front is so important. We love our job. Sometimes we get carried away.
Right.
You hold our reins back.
Right.
It's like, hey, all right, Chris, we were doing this house, this is their budget, but this is what we designed.
Isn't it cool?
Well, Chris is like, I want to build that, but what's their budget?
Right.
So there's certain things where, having that team up front, like I said, we can design anything, but making sure that stays within budget is so important, because if it's not going to get built, well, I want to see the stuff that we designed built. Yeah,
right. It's just pretty plans.
Just
you
have a piece of paper.
3D.
Yeah, that's what they hire us for. So having the interior designer, the builder, the landscape architect, the civil engineer, everything, having that team up front is so important. A lot of times, they come to us like, hey, let's just design it, then we're going to bid it out. Yes, we do that. But I also say, let's talk with the builder. Let's take the plans to a certain level. Let's not finish it, because I want to make the plans fluid so we can make changes. So let's not finish it yet, because you're going to love it, and then you're going to find out you're not going to be able to afford it.
Right.
Or, hey, we can build a bigger house, depending on where they stand.
Right.
So I don't want to fix the plans yet until we speak with you. And then you're coming in, you're telling us, hey, Greg, yes, we can build it for this footprint. This is a house that we did similar. So as long as you stay within these finishes,
different parameters.
Yeah. Each community is a little bit different. They have different guidelines, but I try to get them to feel comfortable with the budget and working with you up front. Yeah, just having that team That's very important because we know we can build what we're designing.
From your side, what early decisions tend to move the budget the most, either in a good or a bad way?
The budget. That's the $1 million question.
Literally.
Yes. So, and I learn a lot from my first couple of meetings with a client about what their budget is and what are they going to really want at the end. One of the main answers I get is like, we like a lot of light. And I love windows. I love light coming into the house. So we try to put as much windows where we can. Sometimes we try to frame a view. Right. One of the homes that we did, we call it the glass house. It was just all glass and loved it. People loved it. But that's one of the big expenses, windows.
They do.
They cost anywhere from, like you said, from $500 to $2,000 a window or more. And we're getting ready to go to the builder show, I think in a couple of weeks in Orlando.
Yeah. It's right after Valentine's Day.
Yes, right after Valentine's Day. Ooh. It's after. Okay, good.
It's after Valentine's Day.
All right.
You need to get Eva something, by the way.
Yes, I will. But yeah, so we're going to go there. There's always something interesting there.
Right.
And we're going to go check out I love seeing the windows and doors, seeing what's new out there. We always pushing the limits with these window and door manufacturers. Like, hey, what's the largest size window can we get in a casement? Or a single hung or double hung.
You and I have had those conversations.
Yes, we have. So, we're always pushing the limits. Like, hey guys, we need to get 8-foot double hung window engineered. We don't want to have to engineer it every time we want to use one.
Right.
So they keep on up it. Once we get an 8-foot, all right, now we need 9 feet. Now we want 14-foot. It went from 10-foot ceilings is okay to 12-foot. Everybody's doing 12-foot. Now 14-foot ceilings. We can't just have a 10-foot door with a 14-foot ceiling.
Who could ever stand that?
Yeah. So again, pushing the limits, seeing what these guys engineer window and door wise. And we want to create these big openings, this indoor-outdoor feel.
Absolutely. But they got to make sure they're hurricane rated. They got to make sure that they, thermal rating and just all those different things. Because you don't want it to function like some of these older houses where, they have that thermal exchange and it makes the room hotter or colder. And then, you put these large glass openings and then it fixes the air conditioner and where they position the ductwork and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
How do you help clients balance wanting something current without building a home that they regret 10 years from now?
Great question. There's a lot of trends out there. And, I'm sure we're going to go to the builder show. We're going to see a lot of trendy stuff.
Green cabinets.
But one thing that I don't want to call myself, somewhat classic. I like the classic form. It's more timeless. So as we're developing a house, we're not looking at trends. Yes, right now at Camp Creek, there's a lot of trends pulling from Texas right now.
Right.
The Alpine style, the
colonial stuff is coming in.
Yeah. So, a lot of my clients like, hey, what style do you design? That's a hard question because I don't have a specific style. If you look at our portfolio, we're all over the board, whether it's Craftsman, Mediterranean, even mountain style. We're on the beach, but every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, no, people do. They're doing all these, dark gray homes around here. There's definitely a mountain we're getting so many people from Nashville and Chattanooga and all that we're getting that influence of people wanting that here. They want to recreate that. They even have, on Eastern Lake where they have those like 5 log homes. Those were built a long time ago, but there is that influence.
Yep. So typically when they ask me what my style is, I was like, I go back and I tell them it's your style. It's designed for you. Okay. If you come to me, it's like
a good answer.
Like it's a Chris Fox house.
Yeah.
I get to know you. I want to understand how you live your life, your lifestyle, how your family's gonna live in the house. We're designing it for you. So it's your style.
That's cool. From your experience, what does a really strong architect-builder relationship look like on a successful project?
Starting at when you first started talking is having that team at the very beginning. Having that relationship with the builder, the designer, the architect, the interior, landscape, having that whole team together is very important.
But you're saying the team, but if somebody came here and they just said, picking out of a fishbowl of, people to design the house, contractors, they'd still have that team, but more so as to how does the strong, you and I have worked together 10 homes together. So, we have that relationship. When if there's something that I have a question on in one of your drawings, not only do I know that I can get in touch with you, but I know how to phrase the question because we've dealt with these things before. And I know whether, to call you first or whether I'm calling the engineer or who. So having that relationship, I feel like is important, but from your perspective, as far as like when you're dealing with the clients,
Gotcha.
How does that play into it?
There are times where we hand off the drawings to the builder. We never hear back from them. So we go there. Typically every couple of weeks we go out there just seeing what's going on.
Right.
What I love about working with you and our relationship is I hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something like we try our best to make our plans perfect, but there's always going to be something. There's something. Even if like when you're out on the site, you say, "Hey Greg, have you thought about this? Like, we have this extra attic space, or we have this room to move this over here." It's almost like sometimes we don't see that on paper.
It's
and
hard.
You're out in the field, like and that's why we like getting out in the field a lot. So sometimes things do pop up during construction, but hearing from you, it just makes you feel good about, hey, he's looking at the plans, he understands the plans, and he's designing, he's building what we're designed.
Right.
One of the first builders I worked with, I'm not going to mention any names, I love them, but I'm used to our plans were 30, 40, 50 pages with 200 pages of specifications. And when I first started, I spent day and night working on these plans, over 1,000 hours, handed to the builder thinking, oh, they're going to be so impressed. They looked at that, they threw out 30 pages, like, Greg, we just need this floor plan, elevation, just one section. The specifications, don't worry, don't need that.
Right. We'll figure that part out.
Yeah. It's like, well, okay. And I've learned very, very fast that, it is about that relationship with a builder.
Mm-hmm.
You know what those clients want. You interview the clients as well to keep them on budget and to give them exactly what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So those specifications, yes, there's certain things that you need, but things change a lot.
They do.
And that's one thing, we also used to do interior drawings.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that anymore because it always changes. So we don't charge our clients for that unless they really want it. But, we always try to help them with interior designers to specify all that.
When you look at homes on 38 that still perform and look great 15 or 20 years later, what do they have in common?
The timeless homes stand out, more the classic homes. And I love working with just natural materials, whether it's concrete, siding, cedar siding, and just let the materials age themselves. That way your house every year your house changes a little bit.
Right.
That's what I love about cedar.
Yeah.
Is like one day it might be brown, the next day it's silver. Right. Not the next day, but a couple of years down the road.
Right.
It's a different
silver.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the 𝙃𝙃 and 𝘽𝙪𝙁, decking materials.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the biggest thing is, how do those people live in the house 15 years later? Are they still enjoying it as their family grew out of it?
Right.
So that's the best part of me is like, best part of going back to the house. Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of my clients that live in the same house 10, 15 years. And I still just knock on the door if I'm in the area. It's like, hey, how's it going? It's like, do you mind if I check out the house? They love, yes, this is what we did with it. We changed out the floors. We did this.
Right.
It's like, well, are you happy with your house? We love the house.
That's awesome. If someone was thinking about building on 30A, what advice would you give them before choosing their designer and builder?
I always say, you date the architect, you marry the builder. So
it's always a 2-year commitment. It's not just the construction, it's also the year warranty after it. I tell people that. I'm like, look, they ask me, what's the biggest thing? And I'm like, well, this is a 2-year long thing. I'm like, it's not gonna take 2 years to build it. I'm like, I'm gonna be with you for a year after, doing any kind of fine tuning on, something that pops up if a handle's loose or whatnot. I'm gonna be there fixing that for you. So yeah, we're gonna have a 2-year long commitment.
Yeah. So, our job, it's fun. Yeah, we try to make it fun for the client.
Right.
We're very interactive with them. We get to know them. We go to their house, and we really try to understand the way they live and their lifestyle. And these designs, they take anywhere from 3 months to a year, just depending. We can, you come to us, hey, Greg, we're doing a spec house. Yeah, we can do that in a couple months, 2-3 months, get it done, because we know what you're looking for. But hey, Greg,
you have the window count, the square footage of the roof.
It's easy for you. But so we know what you're looking for. It's going to sell. So we're designing something that will sell.
Right.
You're our client, but we're kind of our own client. That we just do something fun and fast.
Right.
When it comes to clients doing a custom house
Mhm.
always say, you know, yes, we can get it done in 3 months, but this is a process. I really want to get to know you. I don't want you to make a decision like that. There's times where we're discussing the same thing 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And well, we're not designing the house all 6 months, but we're going back and forth. But yeah, typically our homes that we design, custom homes, it's about a 6-month process. But it's a fun process.
No,
You're
absolutely.
dating. We're dating.
Right,
So
right.
it's a 6-month relationship. But I'm always there, even like I say, during the construction process.
Right.
We're still involved
Checking
there.
out.
We're there every couple weeks.
Right.
Builder is so important. There's some clients that they want to be hands off.
Mhm.
There's other clients that want to be very hands on.
Right.
Some builders, who's like, hey, let's do our job. You stay back until the house is done.
Right.
With you, you're very involved. It's a very special thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're married to you for the next several years.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I've heard some of our clients say, yeah, the Seacrest house, you did a couple homes for them. Yeah. And I heard it's like, yeah, we love him because even 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road, we had a little issue that he just came in and took care of it.
Water heater.
Yeah. So just things pop up. And
I just, and I'm not saying my warranty goes beyond the 1 year, but I always try to make sure that the client is taken care of. And if there's anything I can do to help them out where, even if it's just putting them in touch with whoever did the plumber that did it, the electrician that did it, or whoever, it's no problem. I'm always excited to be able to help people out and to keep that relationship going. I definitely appreciate you, sitting down and talking with me and going through all this. And I appreciate everybody who's been listening. All right. Y'all have a great day.